Intermittent fasting. Mistakes to avoid. Intermittent fasting and breakfast. So, you decided to go with intermittent fasting. Where to start? The first thing everyone who is used to the classic 3 to 4 times a day meal schedule thinks when they hear about intermittent fasting is, I am not ready to skip my breakfast. Many kinds of research show that if you skip breakfast, you are more likely to be overweight, less likely to eat enough fruit and vegetables, and more likely to consume unhealthy snacks. Further, eating protein soon after waking up has been shown to curb afternoon cravings and increase satiation, improving overall weight loss. Breakfast, after all, is the most important meal of the day. Right? So, we've thought this is the topic to be discussed first. Guess what? With intermittent fasting, you don't have to skip breakfast, as most people think. True, you could choose if you wanted to move your feeding time to early in the morning, say from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., but for most of us, this is very inconvenient and conflicts with their social activities in the evening. So, many people choose the skip breakfast schedule, which we find difficult as well, especially if you have to go to the office or simply work out in the morning. The schedule we discovered works best for many people is the feeding time between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. so you have later breakfast, which also could be an early lunch. You are to have dinner at 6 to 6:30 p.m. like most of the people do, so you are socially active and can go out for dinner if you wish to, and you don't really skip breakfast, you just simply have it later. But again, same way with most lifestyle changes, it's very individualized. What works for you or somebody else might not be the right choice for the other people. So you can't simply read an article about anything to know for sure if it's going to work for you or not. The truth is that you have to implement it to your life and experiment for yourself to find out what's best for you. If you are ready to give it a try. To help you with a good start, here are 6 common mistakes beginners usually do while switching to intermittent fasting. Number 1. Not so fast. Start small. Especially if you used to eat 5 to 6 meals a day, you don't want to go to 2 or 3 in a shortened period of time. So instead of going straight to 16/8 protocol or 24-hour fast, just because you know how effective those are, try to extend the amount of time in between your meals first. And see what is the comfortable window of fasting for you, and extend those periods gradually. Even 3 to 4 hours fast is okay to start, or you can go with fasting every other day first, as long as you have a plan and move forward making your fasting window smaller and smaller until you come to the recommended schedule. Are you not familiar with recommendations? We have discussed the types of intermittent fasting in the previous video. On the other hand, if you've used to eat 2 times a day, it will be a much easier and faster transition for you, so you can try 12/12 protocol straight away and slowly reach the desired 16/8 schedule. Number 2. Dehydration. Intermittent fasting is often associated with dehydration because when you do not eat, sometimes you forget to drink, so it is essential to actively stay hydrated throughout the day by drinking, on average, between 2.5 and 3 liters of water. In fact, part of our water source comes from food. So since you aren't eating and you're already waking up in a dehydrated state from sleeping, it's really important to make sure that you're getting enough water in the morning. It will increase your energy levels and prevent you from unpleasant feelings like dizziness or headaches. If you often experience headaches during the fast period, it might be because of the electrolyte imbalance due to dehydration. So, if you feel dizzy in the morning or any time during fasting, the easiest way to recharge your body with electrolytes is to add a pinch of Celtic sea salt into your water. Celtic sea salt is balanced and natural ionically charged source of about 90 elements, and it works great as a remineralizing supplement. Number 3. Eating not enough food. Not eating enough during your feeding window is crucial. If you don't eat enough, you'll never be able to turn off your hunger hormone called ghrelin. And that will make you hungry and angry during the fasting period. So, it will turn your fasting experience into a horror movie. You really don't want to be eating at a very calorie deficit, as it also can impact negatively your metabolism, and thus will ruin your progress. It doesn't mean though that you have to eat too much. You are to eat just as many calories as your body needs. And remember, the quality of the food matters. You can't go with junk food inside your eating window and expect to lose weight. Even though fasting does help to increase your metabolic rate, you still have to pay attention to the quality of food you are eating. Choosing clean, whole, unrefined foods are not only nutrient dense. Eating this kind of food will help you to lose weight effectively. Number 4. A glass of wine maybe? If you think that any liquid is not food, you are wrong. We are not talking about water here. But coffee with sugar, some liquid supplements, juices, even herbal tea if there are dry fruits in it sometimes. For example, 1 glass of wine is about 120 calories, orange juice contains around 100 calories plus sugar, 1 cup of cappuccino is about 150 calories. As to the alcohol, keep in mind that drinking alcohol means that you are displacing your opportunity for adequate nutrition. Do not drink alcohol during or immediately after fasting, and even if you drink during your eating periods. Even a glass of wine is not something that you can have outside of your eating window. It will disturb your fasting process. So, drink only water during the eating period. Number 5. Not getting enough sleep. When you don't get enough sleep, your body doesn't have time to full recovery. That means that not only you will feel the lack of energy and concentration, but you're going to eat more food during the day. Why? Simply because of the increased level of 2 hormones, cortisol, the stress hormone, and ghrelin, the hunger hormone. The increased levels of these hormones due to the lack of sleep will lead to a tremendous appetite. There is evidence that getting quality sleep helps people to consume fewer calories during the day. The mechanism behind this is during the sleep your body is getting restored or repaired, so if you don't get your body repaired during the night, it doesn't have enough energy when you wake up. It is trying to compensate by getting the energy from food. As a result, your morning fasting time becomes close to the impossible process. So, make sure at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. Number 6. Hungry and miserable. An important aspect of any type of meal plan is to make sure that it fits your lifestyle. It's true, you should have a meal schedule. Otherwise, you will find excuses to break the fast very often. But you don't want to let yourself become miserable, right? You must be happy after all. Besides, as we have discussed in the previous video, fasting may sometimes lead to an increase in the stress hormone, cortisol, which may cause even more food cravings, and as a result, in binges and weight gain. In terms of the intermittent fasting, for most of the people, it's really easy to stick with the same type of eating schedule during the weekdays, but during the weekends it might be a disaster. You might wake up later in the morning, or you go out with your friends late at night, or simply have a date scheduled later than your eating window ends. You don't want to sit around and be with your friends or date while they're eating and you're just sipping on water. That's why it's important to be flexible, being able to shift the eating window, and making sure that it fits your lifestyle as well. So, follow the plan, but be flexible. And remember, the most important thing is to listen to your body. Especially when you're just starting. You have to learn to listen to your body and understand its needs. So, if you are hungry, first ask yourself, is it really hunger or is it a habit to snack out? A good method to check if your hunger is real has been described in this video. Thank you for watching. See you next week.